Greetings, friends. It's Denise again with Denise's Dancing Paintbrush and another collage. If you saw my posting last week, I worked on a collage for my friend of her son and her grandson. And this is the composite photo reference that I created. And this is just the second part of working on that collage. I'm still plugging away at it. I put in all the background and then started with their clothes. I like to save the flesh tones for last. You can see I made a few corrections. And I added a few little stars. Now this is just an envelope that came in the mail. Really nice paper. The gold you can't tell from this angle, but it shines whenever you look at it in the light at a special angle. So I added these little shiny stars all over the picture. It blends in pretty well and you can't even notice it unless it's you're walking past it in the right light. So it's a little added something extra that should get their notice. You can see up in the upper right hand corner of the background, I added a baby's face laughing. Now the first thing I do is use tracing paper and trace the important parts like faces and features. And fingers and toes. So I traced the hand. I traced the foot. And then I can set that to one side. It won't harm a thing if I go over my lines now, doing the background pieces, the clothes and whatnot, because I have it all traced on tracing paper, and because it's paper, I can literally collage on top of the tracing paper and cut that out and glue it in place. I find that very helpful, especially with very important details. I don't do it with everything. Things like roses, you know, a rose is a rose. And if I get the lines off ever so slightly, I don't think the rose will mind, but the people will. So even though I have a tracing, I'm still trying to stay within my lines, within the parameters of my outline, but not exact. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can see this piece of paper is much larger than I usually work with, and so it's not exactly fitting on my art table well. Not exactly fitting into the parameters of my camera either, but that's okay, we're making it work. Now I purposely cut out several different shades of red, a deep red, an apple red, a burgundy red, the same with the blue, a deep dark blue, a medium blue, a royal blue, even a sky blue. I realized that the baby's shirt had a pattern on it. But you know, with collage, there's enough of a pattern in the paper I'm putting on here that that won't matter. Now you can see I've got to use a much lighter blue across the back because this is where the light is coming from. And I thought about getting rid of the bib, but it actually lends something to the picture, and I didn't want to overdo his neck. The thing about babies and children is that as they age, their neck gets longer. At this age, they have virtually no neck that actually shows. So I decided also to make the hat on my friend's son a blue instead of that horrible khaki green. It felt like it tied it together, the baby's clothes and the man's clothes. Also felt like I needed transition between the very dark, almost black underneath his arm and the red of the shirt. So I used a kind of a warm brown as the transition. Now you can see I'm gluing directly onto the tracing paper. It allows me to see my drawing above while gluing onto the features below. So you can see both at the same time. actually, that about counts for my week. I didn't finish this face or the other. I'll be working on this piece for another week, it looks like to me. So I appreciate you watching all the way to the end. Give me a thumbs up if you like my progress. And subscribe to my channel. It really helps. And see what else I've got. There's always something new. Bye, everyone. Have a really good week.